What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. You know, I have been in Thailand for less than a year, and I have already spent over 100,000 baht in medical expenses. So in today's video, I am going to share with you which travel health insurance I use, why I chose this company, 3 of my health experiences, and the outcome of my claims. So stick around to the end of the video. You might be shocked at the result. So I chose SafetyWing because it is very popular and it has an excellent reputation. I'll put it on the screen for you guys. So another reason why I choose this travel healthcare company is because it is very user friendly. You can click here on travel or health and it will take you to common questions where you can get answers right away, and I love that. Another major thing that I like is that they are available 24/7 and they have human customer service. It's not automated, so you can actually speak with someone. And as you can see here, they are even up to date on what's going on in the Middle East and are offering help for evacuations. So next, let's get into the 3 health experiences that I had here in Thailand. Let me check my notes. I had a medical checkup, a full medical checkup when I got here to Thailand. They cover EKG, pap smear, mammo, abdominal ultrasound, and of course the exams that I'm going to mention are geared towards female because I am female. They do have packages for males, but they cover pretty much the same basics, but of course it veers off, you know, depending on if you're male or female. But they also have eye exams, they do your labs, they do a cancer screening, which is very, very important. And they guide you from clinic to clinic during the whole process so you don't get lost or anything like that. It is just excellent service, beautiful facility. The facility that I did go to was Bowman Grand. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they have a beautiful facility. It's clean, up to date medical equipment. The customer service and the patience is just off the charts. So I highly recommend them, you know, if you're coming here to Thailand. The list that they complete for these packages are top notch, and the price for them all is just unbelievable. So I did the comprehensive vitality package, but the total package was 41,700 baht. So for female, of course, the price is a difference between male and female because the some of the procedures are different for male and female. So for the female, and this is last year's prices, 2025. For female, 41,700 baht is what I paid for my package. So my next health expense that I have was a trip to the dentist. I was cooking, what was I cooking? Okra and some beans, and went to bite down and heard a crunch, and I'm like, okay, either there's a bean that didn't get cooked all the way, or there's a piece of stalk or something from the okra. So of course I spit that out. Anytime I feel a crunch or something does not work when I'm eating, everything gets spit out. And so I went to go drink some water, and of course my tongue felt the back of my mouth, and I'm like, okay, oh my goodness. So I go look in the mirror, and I have cracked my crown that was in the back. So I go to the dentist and they swab it to check for bacterial infection, anything like that. I had x-rays done. and the x-rays actually came back okay, but I had an infection in the tooth. So choices were to get a root canal and just put another cap on top of it, or fill the tooth or whatever, or get the tooth pulled and get one of those what do they call them, not really partials, but get a not a temporary tooth, but to get I forget what they call them, where they screw into your gums, or get one of those done. And so I opted to have the tooth pulled, which was an experience because other than having my wisdom teeth pulled, which I had to get done under anesthesia because I guess I have strong roots, and I did not think about that until I'm in the dental office and he's got me numbed up and the guy is just like grunting and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, you have very strong roots. So I would put a picture up. If you do not like blood or the sight of blood bothers you, skip ahead after the video says skip ahead 5 seconds. So getting that tooth pulled was very emergent because I had a lot of pain in the tooth after I cracked the crown. And then even after I had the tooth pulled, I ended up with another infection in the tooth where I had to have some meds done, meds taken rather. I had to have some antibiotics and a strong antibacterial mouthwash. And so it was an it was an experience because, as you know, if you have watched my previous videos, I love to eat, and having a tooth pull in the back where you do the majority of your chewing, it slowed me down from eating. So, oh my goodness, that was an experience. So the price of the extraction, the doctor's fees, the payments, and the antibiotics, it came to 4,300 baht for everything. So my third health experience that I've had was quite scary, actually. I'm sitting at my computer just like I am right now, and all of a sudden I get a sharp pain in my head and I get this massive headache out of nowhere. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I need some time away from the screen. It's been a long day and I've been at the computer for a long time. So I turn to the side, and then all of a sudden I start getting a tingling sensation in the left side of my face. And that's when my mind took off. And I'm like, oh my goodness. As you all know, if you have watched my first video as to what I do, what I used to do, I worked in cardiology, and I've also had experience working in neuro, clearing out clots for those who are having active strokes. So I knew what I was supposed to do. I verbalized everything as I was, moving. I was getting my bag together, which I usually keep my bag set. Right after that, I unlocked my door just in case. I notified someone. I did not call an ambulance, which I should have. So when they say that medical professionals can be sometimes the worst patients, that is absolutely true. But I'm going through the process in my head and I'm like, okay, I'm speaking. I'm still coherent as to where I am, who I am. I'm saying these things out loud as I'm moving slowly to get the things that I need. And I go downstairs and I tell the security guy, and he called a cab, and I don't know if they have privilege or whatever, whatnot, when they are transporting somebody that's sick. I have no idea, but I got in the cab and I like blinked twice. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I passed out, but I do not remember that cab ride. I remember getting in, the security guy closing the door, and me opening my eyes, and he is helping me out of the car. There's a wheelchair already at the cab. I'm at the taxi, and they take me to the ER, and they're asking me, okay, you know, what's wrong? I'm like, okay, I was sitting at my desk, and you know, all of a sudden I get a massive headache, and I get a little dizzy, and the left side of my face started tingling. So of course, if you don't know, that is like a red flag for medical cardiology, and cardiac arrest and stroke are the, like, everybody drops everything and they tend to that patient. So they started a rapid stroke assessment like right away, and I'm laying in the bed, and they take my labs and everything, and so they're speaking. Of course, they're speaking in English, which I have to give it to Bangkok Hospital. They were phenomenal. They took care of me. They drew my labs one stick. They rushed me to MRI where I had a brain scan. They also checked the neurological aspects, blood flow. They checked my blood sugar levels, and they did a thorough check, and I love that. I love that. I didn't have to really tell them much. You know, they just were moving fast, and for that I am definitely grateful. So this is the amount of what I paid for my initial ER visit, and then to follow the first follow-up and then the second follow-up. Now with SafetyWing, what you do is you pay out of pocket and then you file a claim with them. They evaluate your claim, and then they determine from there whether it is something that they can reimburse you for. With SafetyWing, they are emergency only. So it is very, very useful to have them when you're traveling, because things happen. You may stub your toe, you may have a stroke like me, and what you do need to do is have to where you can pay out of pocket and then submit your claims. So my first experience was the checkup that I had. The second was my dental extraction. The third was the ER for the stroke eval, and that total came to 104,523 baht, which is 3,241 US dollars. Inside SafetyWing's policies, they will tell you that they do not cover any kind of routine medical examinations or preventative vaccinations or annual checkups. My first medical expense was pretty much an annual checkup, and SafetyWing does not cover those. They are emergency based only. And so since annuals are get them when you feel like you need to have one, it is not considered an emergency and it is not covered. I did submit a claim for the dental tooth extraction and also for my my stroke ER visit. I also submitted the 2 follow-up exams with that claim as well. As you can see here, SafetyWing reimbursed me for the 2 that they classified as a emergency. And for that, I am totally grateful. The price may be a little off because the prices that I'm listing, I did round down. So if it was, halfway, I just came back down to the nearest whole dollar. So my total is a little less than what they reimbursed me for, which still I am grateful. But this goes to show you the importance of having travel insurance. And I highly recommend SafetyWing, not only because of that they reimburse me, but the fact that the emails that we sent back and forth were very rapid. I would ask a question or they would need information, and the transactions were very quick and easy. They did not have a problem with getting on chat and answering any questions that I had. If they sent me an email and I wasn't sure about what they meant, I would just get on chat and someone would be available within literally 3 minutes. And we would get any questions that I had squared away, which I love. Customer service is very, very important when you are abroad and you're traveling and you're having a medical emergency. So being able to be in contact with them 24/7, not just automated, being able to be in contact with somebody, a live person, is so important, and it is just awesome. I love SafetyWing, and I definitely am glad that I have them, and I recommend that you check them out. They have packages for all ages. The price varies on your age, and they're very easy to use, and they're willing to communicate with you with any questions that you have. So that is going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the information. I hope you take the time to, if you do travel, to definitely have travel insurance, and check out SafetyWing. I'm not sponsored for this video. SafetyWing, if you're listening, hey, hit me up. But it is very important. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot. So if you all got some great information out of this video, like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, find yourself, be yourself, and love yourself. I'll see y'all in the next video.